We're just about to release our version 3.1. This is an enhancement to our version 3 release. It came out in April this year, Rebekkah, and it's some pretty exciting enhancements. The major additions we've done with 3.1 is some new functionality that allow you to work with very large simulations, have multiple users work with the simulations, provide new controls and functionality around operator training systems, and also make the process of developing simulations for control system testing and training quicker and easier than ever before. So we're very excited about this new release. Our development staff has been working around the clock to get it out just in time for Christmas, so it's going to be our Christmas gift to the industry.
And do you have any installations that will be coming out at the same time? Or?
We have. It's going to be we have about 1,000 users worldwide that are using our MiMiC simulation software. Those that are current on our software support product are already in the process of transitioning to MiMiC version 3, and this is an incremental release that they'll be able to just install it, update it, and get the enhanced benefits of it and use their existing simulation. In addition, we have about 10 projects worldwide in different world areas that are using this. I'm thinking off the top of my head here, one in Japan, a number that are going into North America, one on a gas plant in New Zealand that we're all trying to figure out how we can make a trip to, and then a couple other ones as well.
And what kind of benefits from an economic standpoint are you seeing so far, or expecting or projecting in these plants?
Well, what we're trying to do is provide the ability to reduce the risk of these plants so that they can test their control system more thoroughly, their control system application software, and train their operators in an offline manner quicker and easier than ever before. And the results that they've gotten in most cases are pretty incredible. In almost every case, you pay for the investment in the simulator well before the startup of the plant. We see customers that have been able to bring in startups by everywhere from a couple business days to man weeks. So they're able to save quite a bit of time and time to market, increase production efficiency, cost of their downtime and turnover. They're able to reduce their unscheduled downtime because their control system is more thoroughly tested and their operators work better with it. And the results are usually well within the 7 figures for an investment that is, in most cases, well below 6 figures. In version 3.1, we've really tried to make the process of getting simulations up and running quicker and easier. In the past, simulations have just been too difficult and too expensive for people to implement and users in the process industry. So most simulation systems have gone by the wayside. They may get initially used for a project, but they don't get used after the initial project. They're too expensive to update and maintain, and they're just too expensive to implement on the initial project. So with MiMiC version 3 and 3.1 release, we've really brought down the time and expense of doing these simulation systems.
And do you have you paid a lot of attention to interoperability with third-party systems?
Yeah, that's really one of the major things that we've built as part of the infrastructure of MiMiC version 3 is that it easily ties into third-party systems. And because MiMiC is a process and I/O simulator that has to work with an offline control system, it has to tie into third-party systems really easily. And we have what we call our simulated I/O bridge functionality that allows you to tie into different control systems just by changing the definition of your simulated I/O and not your process model. So the same models you develop, say, on one system today can be put onto another system tomorrow just by changing the I/O definitions of this one simple file. The other thing we did to try to tie into third-party systems is we increased the functionality of our OPC server with MiMiC version 3.1, so that now you can not only get to all the modeling data, you can get into all the operator training scenarios, process snapshot functionalities, speed up, slow down, save, restore capabilities. So you can do that all from third-party systems, third-party modeling packages, or just any proprietary type of applications you develop too.
Okay, and is this applicable for certain segments of the chemical process industries or the chemical process industries as a whole? Are you targeting one niche more than another?
Well, we've traditionally been a very strong supplier in pharmaceutical and biotech, in industrial chemical, especially batch chemical. If you look at the biotech plants, most of the major biotech plants worldwide are using MiMiC. And over the last 4 or 5 years, though, we've done most of our work in hydrocarbon because they've had a lot of money. And so we've done a lot of work in refineries, gas plants. We've got a refinery and a gas plant project going right now, an LNG plant project. I mean, it's so we've had to go from biotech, little bitty reactors sitting on people's desks, all the way down to very large continuous processes. But the same MiMiC application can be used across the board.
And I think these are very different industries, but with biotech and pharmaceutical, I'm assuming the risk that they're minimizing is this high-value product and losing
Sure.
high-value product, and then you have safety issues on both sides. Is this related to the safety issues as well?
Yeah, I think the safety issues are a big issue. Everybody remembers the BP Texas City incident, and so almost every, by the way, BP is a large user of MiMiC as well now. So almost every refinery is very concerned about safety, and the biotech folks are very worried about the safety of their product, but they catch that mostly in the QA. The big thing in the biotech world is time to market and reducing lost batches. A batch in the biotech industry is generally well over $1 million, and so if you can minimize lost batches and bring in the project quicker to market, cut down the huge overhead they have for validation, you can save them a lot of money.
Is this useful in regulatory, especially in biotech and pharmaceutical? Is this particularly useful in regulatory reporting?
Well, there's a process within the biotech or in the pharmaceutical industry, the life sciences industry, where you have to have documentation prepared for the installation qualification and the operational qualification. And a large portion of the operational qualification and some areas of the installation qualification can be done in a offline manner. So in other words, you can do the testing that's required for those in your office by using MiMiC in an offline control system, and you don't have to do it in the plant. And that saves an incredible amount of money. And we see that the biotech and the pharmaceutical API folks are very interested in that. A lot of them already are using it pretty extensively.